Hey guys, we're live. A lot of chat going on. It's 4th of July here in the States, which means we have a party going on, and I had to sneak away for a little bit just to be able to stream for a little bit. Can you help with fishing? It's kind of the point of this today. Let's see. Make America great again. America. No, at my house, 4th of July just means somebody's making hamburgers. All right, so yesterday don't have to today. Yesterday we picked an OVR to fish, and it was 67s, and the stuff we started with is timing out in 15 minutes is where it starts. Look at that, 13 minutes. That's a 69. So 32 minutes the stuff will start timing out. Stuff from yesterday is timing out. Okay, so listed around 562s about 6 hours ago. Ended up selling only 10 of them. As of now, is that bad? So if you sold 10 of 500, no, that's not bad. That's pretty much normal. Is Bruno world class? Let's see. I had maybe 15 to 20 sales since last night in the 67s, but we only listed about 100. So where are we at? Stuff's starting to time out. There's one that sold Hamed. A lot of 69s were going last night. There's another one. Valencia, Capella, Gonzalez. I think I had about, if I had to guess, 15 different 67s sold. A couple I didn't have duplicates of. We only had the one, which made things tougher. But I did go in and buy a ton of 67s. I don't know how many a ton is. Let's see, what do I have left? So 367 more 67s. What do you think of Thiago's potential signing? I don't go into the whole transfer news stuff with too much excitement because I never believe anything until it actually happens. So, we'll see. How old am I? Too old? What do you think about fishing bronze? You can fish any OVR. The problem with the bronze is they're not as prevalent in the game. The reason silvers do so well is because they're packable. Silvers are packable in the 10-hour pack, which means they are constantly being dumped and put into the market or dumped and bought out of the market because of their packability. And that packing never changes. Every 10 hours, everybody gets 2 packs with a silver in it. Best FIFA Mobile YouTuber. Oh, thanks. They need a striker. Yes. I think they should move Firmino back to center attacking mid and put somebody else up top. 10 mil. Today is 13 mil. Will he go up more? Your guess is as good as mine on that 100 rated CDM. Are sound alerts off? That may be mine.
Hey, Derek! Sprechen Sie Dick!
It's working now. Okay. What is your FIFA Mobile market strategy? That's the whole point of this. So, with these, let's see. This is all the duplicates. This is stuff that's left over that we haven't posted yet. I just want to see where everything's sitting at. We've got a while before this stuff will start timing out. Let's just see if anything's getting suggested and if there's any relatable spikes. 800 has been my buying value for these. So we have this still. It's still in here. Let's see. That's what we were buying 67s for yesterday. 800 was the buying value. Starting price for listing was 1600, which is twice what we were paying, with a bin of 6 times the starting price, or 6 times the buying price, which puts it at 4800. And we're seeing no current spikes in any of this stuff, which isn't unheard of. That's pretty normal right now. As soon as this stuff starts to time out, though, we will... There you go. There's one. So at 2300, we'll hold. If it was above 3000, I'd probably sell him, because we're only paying... There you go. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for... There's a 21,000 spike. Normally, I'm just checking because I'm bored right now. We would normally wait until something would sell before we would try to grab the spike. Some of this stuff I don't have in the market, though. Some of these I bought after the stream, so they never posted.
Halo 4347 is now following.
See, I didn't add anything new to the market in 67 range. All the 67s that
Abra
sold last
77
night.
Abra is now following.
All the 67s that sold last night were stuff that we posted during the stream, and then they sold for the 4800, and I went ahead and checked any duplicates that I had. And I had already bought, I bought about
Jota
300
Cartosa
after.
3857 is now following.
I did, I bought a couple hundred after the stream, which is where the duplicates came from. And then since then, I've bought a couple hundred more. I probably only have 400 to 500 67s. But without listing more stuff into the market, I don't have room to hold anymore. I think I'm at a max level right now. I can't even dismiss the golds that posted. There you go. Here's another one. So for any of these that sell that are at like 20,000, which is what we're seeing right now, any of these sell at 20,000, that covers the cost of, let's see, 30-second ad time. Jetpack Shea, already starting it. Okay, so anything that we can sell as high as 20,000 covers the cost of another, 25 cards. What are the reasons for the increase in price of the silvers other than due to stuff like Hazard or SBCs? Why do we see spikes? You see spikes not because of SBCs or Hazard. You see spikes in silvers because of the way the bot market works. So while we're waiting on this stuff, and I keep going through here, we'll do a quick rundown of what the actual bot market is. There are, let's just say, there are 2 bots. This is really dumbing it down, but this should explain it. It's not it's not market manipulation. There's no market manipulation involved in this. That's not why things spike. Any video you're watching where they talk about market manipulation, they don't understand what's happening. Okay, so there are two bots. There is the bot that buys, and there is the bot that sells. So we have one bot that will buy from you and one bot that sells to you, but they're not connected. And we can show that by searching for, well, here's what we'll do. We'll search for a player. We'll look at somebody I have. We'll just say, okay, there you go. Let's do one that I'm not that worried about. Okay, we'll do Kubo. That's a good one because Kubo is actually an MLS striker. He should have a decent value. He's an FC Cincinnati player. Right now, MLS is being used in the SBCs. So Kubo, 91 striker, is giving a suggested of 401,000. Okay, let's see if we can find any that are, let's say, 700,000. So 617. So we got one that sold for 616. Okay, so now here's something. We've got one that was bought for 616 140. Whether or not it was the market bot that bought it or somebody else that bought it, we can't tell. There's no active bids. So no one is attempting to bid on these and buy these. No one's trying to snipe them. So 616, 615, that's where the range is. We'll look and see if there's any for 610. There's not a single one in the market for 610, but you can see that they were bought down as low as 507. If we go to sell one, we see a suggested price nowhere near that. We're at 404. The reason that spikes, the difference between those two is because they're two different bots that are, one's buying, one's selling. So the difference is, the reason that you see spikes for like 2 million for a master is because the bot that buys X amount of cards every X amount of minutes. That's the way the bot works. It doesn't go out and try to find the cheapest. It doesn't look for deals. It doesn't buy based on if that's a popular card or not. No, it looks at every card in the market and says, okay, this is a 90 rated card. I need to buy 2 of these per day. Or this is a 67 rated card. I need to buy 25 of these per day to keep the market moving and active. So depending upon the OVR, its buying rate has to do directly with the minimum queue that the bot has to buy from. So, and that is developed based on OVR. Then, if there is a reason for people to be buying a specific card, and more people are buying it, let's say
_S_Lucky is now following.
Let's say Hazard or SBC, something like that, where it's required. Let's say we need an MLS player. So then players are buying MLS players directly. Every time a player is bought, another one gets listed by the bot. The way that works is, if you buy a player, I can demonstrate this. Let's see. We're gonna buy a player. We'll buy a 60 rated player. We'll find somebody that's crazy cheap. We'll do a buy it now between 1,050 and 1,051. Okay, we're gonna buy somebody that's Xanon. Okay, so there's one Xanon in there, and his buy it now right now is 150. We're going to buy this card for no reason to show that how the bot does it. So within a minute, we're going to hold that. Don't forget what we're talking about. Xanon at 150. So now if I search Xanon with a 150 current bid, within the next 5 minutes, you're going to see one pop up with the current bid, the minimum bid of 1,050, because that's what we just paid. And he'll be about 4 hours out, 8 hours, or 12 hours. Because when one gets bought, the bot automatically puts one back into the market with a starting price of what you just paid. That always increases values in the market. So what the spikes are is when a card doesn't get posted into the market for a while, and the bot has to buy X amount, but it doesn't see any in the range that it normally buys. So let's say Xanon's normal range is 700 to 800 coins. So at any given time, if there's no market play for Xanon or no one's posting them in, so the bot's not generating more, and it says I have to buy 10 Xanons every day to keep that card live in the market. And the ones that are getting dropped in the 10-hour packs aren't going back into the market for whatever reason. And the market bot starts to get nervous because it's got a queue, a line of players that it's buying from. And it says there's no players in the market, there's no players in that queue. So it will start to pay more to get those players back into the queue. It will start buying players at a higher value so that it can turn around and resell those players based on what happens. That's a spike. So that's the connection between the buying bot and the selling bot. But that's the only connection. So if you go in and you try to, let's see, here's something you see people who don't understand the bot market try to do. They try to buy all the cards in the market. So if you see a card that doesn't have very many and you buy all of the cards of that one card, you think, okay, now the bot's going to pay more for it because there's none in the market. That's not how it works, because you're buying from the selling bot. Has nothing to do with what people are posting into the other bot. So the values don't perfectly relate. If you spend on buy a shout out, can you shout out your YouTube channel? Yeah, I don't care. We got another 30-second ad if we can run it. Here we go. We got 60 coming up too. Are there other ways to make money apart from farming and fishing? Yeah, playing the games. What happens when cards list out after the time expires? In that case, the same card is relisted by the bot? No. If you list a card into the selling bot and it dismisses, the only time a bot puts something back in for the other market is when someone reposts it. Or if there's if the card's slowed down, the bot can generate cards, but only generate cards to you be able to buy. It doesn't affect the bot that's buying stuff. So the selling bot can't post cards for the buying bot to buy. That's the separation between the two. What about the farming method that gone viral previous days? Okay, let me explain that viral video from a few days ago. That is a method that is like well over a year old. That's an old farming method. I took the video I had on that farming method from FIFA Mobile 19, I pulled down. The reason being is what you were doing is actually searching for active spikes. But because I just showed you when you buy a card and it gets relisted back into the market, what that video was actually doing was making fishing for the rest of us outrageous. You weren't making a bunch of money, but we all were. That's why I kept promoting it in the Twitch stream, because anybody that was buying into it meant the rest of us were making a ton of money. It wasn't bot manipulation, but it was on a massive scale, because when you find a spike If you're buying cards at the height of the spike, that means that the bot is putting one back into the market. Every time you bought one to turn around and try to sell, they would put one back into the market. So the bot was generating traffic because everyone else was buying and generating traffic on that side. So the only people that were making money were the ones that were catching the spike on the upslope. But then people started to realize real quick that if you didn't do it fast enough, or you bought too much stuff, you were missing it on the downslope and people were actually losing money on it. So you really had to understand what you were doing to be able to make money on it. That's why I never put out a video. Yeah, we're making 10 million a day because people bought into that stupid ass stuff. Let's see what sold. We got 67s getting ready to time out, so it may have been a 67. See, checking for what sold sucks. Whoever came up with this 30-day market challenge was an idiot. That was me. Yeah, it was a Ponzi scheme. But nobody knew that, and it wasn't really a Ponzi scheme. Oh, Whitman sold. We like when Elite sold. Milano, those were the ones that we just posted, right? So let's see. Must have been a static. Static sold, not a premium. Separate slots. You know, I would be fine if you could search if there was a way to just view dismissed or just view sold. But then again, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Bots can bid on a card or just pay the bin price. Bots can bid on a card. At the release date, bots will bid on your card. What is market manipulation? I'll explain it, but I want to say something right up front. The way bot manipulation works is you are buying players and pulling them out of the queue to increase the value of that card across multiple markets. It does generate quick coins at that moment, but you have to spend more coins to increase the value of a card. And as you buy more cards to generate the bot, as you buy cards from the selling bot to get the buying bot to buy more to fill the queue and the players that you pulled out of it, then you end up spending more in the long run on cards that you can't sell once you stop. So it's fine as you're moving. You feel like you're making money. But when you stop, you're going to have a whole bunch of cards that are now worth nothing that you overpaid for to begin with. So unless multiple people are doing it and you're on top of the pyramid, you're not making any money. So if you know what a soft or like a comfort transfer is, these illegal companies that you give access to your account and they buy and sell for you, that's what they're doing. What they'll have is mule accounts that manipulate the bot to raise values for this. But they're not really giving you coins. They're just shifting coins back and forth. It doesn't really work. In bid wars, are you bidding against a bot or a real person? It's against a real person. I don't think you bid against the bot. The bot can bid, but then if you place a bid on top of the bot, it's not gonna come back and rebid against you. Okay, so what do we got? Any other investments other than silver? I'm fishing everything. I'll fish all OVRs. It doesn't matter to me. There's different ways to do it though. Okay, in Treasure Hunt Atlantis, we got a poll coming in from Huskers 314. Okay, there's the poll. Huskers 314's poll is up. Okay. Even golds. Yeah, you can fish golds. I don't have any luck in golds. It is what it is. It's not promising for me at all. How do you fish multiple OVO cards with just 1,200 max players? You fish multiple OVR cards two ways. Well, there's actually several ways, but the two basic ways to fish multiple OVRs is with a parking lot, which means that, let's say you have 3,000 silvers, okay? What you'll do is you'll post like A through C. You'll fish A through C. Then all of the remaining cards in that range in A through C that are not, that are like your duplicates, you'll post everything at 24 hours. Then you'll take all your duplicates and post them on 4-hour cycle to empty out your reserves. Then you'll claim your D through E, maybe Fs, and do the same thing. You'll post one of each card on a 24-hour, and then post everything else on 4-hour, so that you have everything in the market with all of your duplicates ending in 4 hours, everything else ending in 24. Then at the end of 4 hours, you just leave them in your inbox. That's called your parking lot. So then when something does sell, instead of going to your reserves to sell it, you look in your inbox, find the card that way in alphabetical order, and you just claim it from your inbox, from the parking lot, and sell that way. Is there any video out there about how to do fishing? Yes. If you get on my channel, there's multiple videos
is now
on
following.
how to do this. Maybe I'll pull up the one. I'll post the link of the one that's probably the best. How do you know all this? Because this is all I do. I don't play the game a whole lot. I just love the market. This is all I've ever really enjoyed in FIFA Mobile, is the market. Where are we at? When's stuff going to start timing out? 5 minutes. So we're close. 5 minutes. Then we can start putting stuff back in. Do you ever invest? First, what's the next big event? Probably Retro Stars, if I have to guess. But I'm still saying that the next big event is going to be Treasure Hunt El Dorado. Renee's the same thing. Yeah, spend more time in the market than in the gameplay. I autoplay almost everything. In fact, I think today I'm short. I didn't even finish out my head-to-head matches. El Dorado. That's not a real thing. That's my guess. Last season, they had Treasure Hunt Sahara and Treasure Hunt Amazon. The years before, it was just Treasure Hunt. There wasn't any secondary title. It was just a big, long event called Treasure Hunt, and it was all pirate related. Then it went Treasure Hunt Sahara and Treasure Hunt Amazon last year. I think that's what they're doing again this year. Because it's a 2-week event and it's got a secondary title, I think it's going to be Treasure Hunt. See, last year it was it was very evident that Sahara was based on Indiana Jones. I mean, everything about it screamed Indiana Jones.
Well, tickle mootadies. CR7 Boy 11 just resubscribed for 3 months. #boomer-rocks.
Thanks for the resubscription. It's the same thing. It's because it was Indiana Jones in Sahara. I felt like we were going to have another one afterward. It was Amazon, which was obviously the Temple of Doom. So this year it makes sense because they added the subtitle for this one that we are going to have a second one. And if you're going to think anything sounds like, I mean, to me, El Dorado is an obvious choice for a second week after Atlantis. Atlantis is a fictional city. It's mythical, blah, blah, blah. That's what El Dorado is. I bought elites below 130K and I'm fishing them between 400 to 600K. And some are selling as at gold good and sold at 90 for 3 mil. Those are all good. That's about in the range where I'm at too. Can you tell me who is the best player for under 500K? There's actually a lot of players right now that are cheap. If you are looking at team of the season cards, in fact, if I had to, I actually went and bought another 92. I bought another 92 Henderson team of the season so far for 750K as an investment. Someone asked if I do investments. Sometimes, if I feel there are cards that are going to go way up in value, then, and it's not just a rant, not like just saying, oh, all elites are going to go up or all masters are going to go up. Some of those team of the season so far, especially if you can get any of the reserve starters, not reserve starters, the ultimate reserves cheap or any of the starters cheap, they should have value moving forward. Specifically that 92 Henderson at 750 to 800K, that's a card that should go up. We should be able to get 1.8 to 2 mil out of him. That shouldn't be a problem. Did you bid that Barkley? Yes, I posted that on Discord. I wasn't searching for him. I wasn't doing anything. I was looking for current market or current masters under 700K. Actually, what I was looking for was to find out if there were any goalkeepers that I could find cheap. Because I wanted to have, I've got all my goalkeepers from 87 to 93. One of each locked out so I can do all of my upgrades. Because that's the only player now, when you rank up, that's the only player that you have to have exact positions for. Everybody else, you can rank up a defender with a striker. It doesn't matter. But goalkeepers, you can only rank up goalkeepers with goalkeepers. So I was searching for goalkeepers, but I wasn't using the position. I hadn't highlighted the position to do it. Was just searching for any. And I did a refresh, and Barkley popped up. I knew he was one of the packable players that you had to buy. And he was under 700K, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to grab him. Because eventually he'll be dead. And once he goes extinct, I should be able to get 2 mil out of him.
KB 3333 is now following.
And as soon as I bought him, I threw him into the market, checked his suggested. It was like 1.1 immediately. So I went ahead and listed him at 2 mil, and he sold within like 4 hours. And now I haven't been able to find Barkley for less than like 1.2 million. So I just got lucky. Okay, Renee asked a question. Where was it? What do you think if I buy Messi for 200 mil and resell it 250 to 300? If you could actually do that, that would be next level investing. That would be farming on an epic scale. But I don't think if you're paying 200 million for Messi, I don't think you could be able to sell him for any less or for any more than 190.
Sinistro is now following.
Suggest an easier method than parking lot for slow network. Really, there's not a whole lot of opportunities to do it. That was the easiest way, is the parking lot. The only other option is to just take all of your cards and always have all your cards in the market. Never be without cards. Never fill it up because you're always sending stuff into the market. You can do that a couple of different ways. One, you can like, instead of doing it on a 24-hour range, divide your cards into 2 groups and sell 24 hours, but you do this OVR in the morning and this OVR in the night, so that you never have more than 1,200 duplicates in the thing. There's other ways to do it. It's just, how do you come across it? Yeah, Renee, the thing is that, like, right now, if you buy a very expensive card, especially like any of the ultimates, like De Bruyne or any of those kind of players, Ultimate Van Dijk, if you pay 65, 70 million for a player and you try to sell it back to the bot right then, it'll show you a suggested price between 40 and 60 if you paid 75. The bot isn't buying it for that much. The bot is only selling it for that much because people are buying it. Do we have the next Treasure Hunt Part 2? If we do see a Treasure Hunt Part 2, it'll be next Thursday or next week. Will you like to have EA increase its posting cycle from 48 to 72 hours? No. I like the 24. What I would like to see is a 2 hour and a 16. Have you checked 88 goalkeeper? The Treasure Hunt 88 goalkeeper? Is it better to replace Allison? I don't worry about stats on goalkeepers. I don't worry about any of the things anybody else worries about on goalkeepers. If you just take goalkeepers out of the mix and don't worry about them, you're a much happier player. Yeah, wishes for FIFA Mobile 21 definitely would be add in a 2-hour cycle and an 18-hour cycle. I would love to have that. The reason being is when you have so many cards and you start to repost stuff, you don't want to get stuck where you have stuff timing out at the wrong time. So I can list every day at the same time. I list every day. I try to list every day at the same time. It doesn't work out that way, though. How am I down by 1 here? What happened? My ball. Thank you. All right, we'll let it play out. We need side swap 2 in head-to-head because the right side of our squad is getting abused. I posted that on the Discord server. The biggest problem I have with FIFA Mobile is the one-sided gameplay. Everything goes left to right. We should have to swap at the half for everything from versus to head-to-head. It would make left mids and left wings a more important position. Show me your legacy team. Okay, hold on a second. Once this is over. How much of the league SBCs have you finished? Are you talking about the kit SBCs for the kits? I'd have to look. I have no idea. I haven't looked in a while. Is it profitable to invest in FA Cup players? Absolutely. Especially if you're getting them cheap enough that they're worth the money spent. How much have you made in one day by fishing silvers only? Probably 8 to 10 million in a day. Auto dismissing with increasing max reserves to 5,000 cards. Yeah. I'd be fine with that. How much did I sell 90 plus FA Cup players? I'm not selling any of them right now. But normally I don't like to get rid of a master for less than 1.8 mil. I like to get 3 times what I'm paying. And I try to buy all my masters under 600K. So with that, it's 1.8 to 2 mil is my basic go-to. How much time we got? 13 minutes. We'll check the legacy squad out and then we'll go back to fishing because I think stuff will all be timed out at that point. We should have everything timed out. This one's gone. Might not be getting my daily bonus in today. Definitely would love to see more grinding events. I did all kits except League 2, 3 Liga, and SSE. I'll have to look. I don't know how many I've finished. I kind of slowed down on it. What do you time out stuff at reset? What did I make from the 67s from yesterday? Well, yesterday I think we spent about 150,000 on 67s, and then I spent another 200,000 before it was over, and I probably got back 300,000 or 400,000 of what I spent. So I'm down about 50,000 so far on the 67s, but I have 500 cards to sell. You don't make money immediately. Fishing doesn't work that way. It comes down to you need to sell more than you've bought to cover the value of what we said. So like right now during the stream we sold 2 for 40,000 and we had 2 that went in for 20,000 a piece. We bought 40,000. I need to go to my
quiet place.
So 40,000, you're talking if I'm buying them at 800 a pop, what, 50 cards were paid for just in those 2 sales. So you have to look at it that way. Here, we'll look at the legacy squad first. Okay, stuff's timed out. There's the legacy squad. Fishing does require a ton of patience. No rate my squads today. We're getting ready to deal with more fishing now that everything's timed out. I check suggested every hour. Whoo boy, I wouldn't check suggested every hour. Why Pogba? I've always liked Paul Pogba. He's always been one of my favorite players. And last season, I really wanted that card. I got it in. That's the Retro Stars card. It is Retro Stars. It doesn't say it, but it is Retro Stars. That was a very important card. Doing the Y Pogba. To see sold stuff. Pogba replaced somebody last season. We didn't have any decent midfield Liverpool players. how much minimum OVR one should have right now. I mean, are you asking like I'm a 144? You're asking what your team should be? Minimum right now, I think you should be at 130. How much do you think you will collect from the market challenge when it's over? My goal was 250 to 500 mil. I'm at about 12 or 1300 players have sold so far. So I'm getting there. I don't know how far off I am. Okay, so here's the 67.
Unknown Desire is now following.
Who sold? Okay. Some 73s are still selling. Okay, so now here's how we're going to do it. I've only got a room for like 17 players. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go through, we're going to dismiss as much as we possibly can of the 67s. They're all in alphabetical order because that's the way we did it yesterday. So we're going to dismiss as many as we can, and hopefully they're not going to all do this. When you have this many stuff in your inbox, it's not uncommon to get the spinning wheel.
Himanshu_Sarana is now following.
97 rated squad right now. If you're playing for 2 weeks, that's about normal. I mean, you could have a 110 right now, but it would require a lot of market work. So we got all the A's done. Oh, this is going to suck because we're going to have to scroll back down through that again. Okay, so the A's are done. Just because I'm curious, I'm going to check suggested on the A's. And if anybody's coming up with anything higher than 1,600, we'll just go ahead and sell it to make room. Because I know I at least doubled my money. Okay, so now here we're doing the same thing because we're buying and selling at the same value. So our buying value was 800. So we set our starting price at 1,600, which is twice what we paid. And our bin at 4,800. Somebody give me a random number between 1 and 100. I need a random number between 1 and 100. 47. We're going to go on the high side today. So 4847 is our number. 4847. And we're just going to list one of everything. On a 24-hour cycle. We should have more duplicates than we did yesterday because of me buying more. And we're just doing the A's. Thoughts about Jennifer Lopez? What is your base price for the silvers? For these, my base price, I'm buying them for 800 and I'm selling them for a starting price of 1,600. But my base price for buying is depends on the OVR. We came up with the 800 yesterday because we searched it just to see what was selling, what the value was, how much I could search and be able to find enough to buy 100 cards right now. Is it my time worth to play Treasure Hunt? Absolutely. Don't ever skip an event. You're missing out if you skip anything. How do you deal with spiking when you're busy with other stuff? Because you can't sell duplicates and lose the opportunity. Oops, what did I do? I accidentally selected one. I generally get into I'll remember what my number is and get in and just look at the inbox. And every 3 to 4 hours, if I get bored. What is Ohio? Ohio is the Buckeye State. Okay, so now we're through C's, so we can do B's and C's. $1,600. What was it? 48.87, something like that. Good enough. The Cornfield State. It's actually the Orange Barrel State because it seems like our roads are always under construction. You know it's bad when your state is so ripe with road construction that your first MLS team is named after the construction crew. That's what the Columbus Crew is. The logo is 3 guys in hard hats. A lot more duplicates now, which is good. Yesterday when we did this on stream, we didn't have very many duplicates. This is why you need to buy about 1,000 of every card. So we can do C's too. And notice I'm not checking suggested prices on any of these. I'm not worried about it because I'm happy if any of these sell for 4,800 and I can get a spike on a duplicate, I'm fine. But at 4,800, it's 6 times what I invested, which boils down to every sale covers the cost of 5 other players. So if we buy 1,000 cards, after you've sold 200, the rest are free. Then every card sold is pure profit. Should I get rid of the hundreds of 73s that I bought for fishing since golds are dead? I still have 73s. Golds are pretty dead, but it doesn't mean they won't come back. How did you get hooked to the FIFA Mobile market? I like the numbers. I love the numbers of the way this stuff works. And I used to play console until they price capped the market. But even with console, I didn't play much console. I had console and I would get on the PlayStation, but I would use the Foot Mobile Companion app, the website. You could do it all through a browser, and I pretty much played Foot on the console on my laptop until they price capped it, and it pissed me off, and I've never played since. And that was what? 15? FIFA Mobile 15? Okay, here's the reset. So we'll log on. Get ready tomorrow at... Let's see. Hold on before we do anything. Adesh is live. Tomorrow, we'll get on the same time, about an hour before reset, maybe 2:30. We'll get on at 30 minutes before reset. That way we can see where this stuff is going and see what's timed out tomorrow. Then we'll play through the reset and see what happens. So, we'll go from there. It's 4th of July. I need to get back out to see what's going on. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys hanging out today. Watching the fishing with the 67s. You guys picked it. You guys picked the OVR. We'll be on tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do it a little bit later. We'll do 2:30 for me. 30 minutes before reset tomorrow. 30 minutes before reset, just to see how this stuff works out and times out. The stuff that was selling. Then we'll stream for about an hour or so. But appreciate everybody hanging out. And we still haven't heard back on Twitch partners. So as soon as we do, we'll go back to having some streams in the middle of the night. And a few more of these. At least it's a holiday today and I can get away with drinking these at noon. Thanks a lot, guys. As long as you keep watching. Actually, damn. We need to raid. Let's raid a dish. There you go. Raid is coming. Let him know where you came from. I'll be back tomorrow, 30 minutes before reset. See you guys then.